FaZe Clan didn't start in CSGO.
They're playing this trade perfectly, and sure enough, gets double team. FaZe takes UMG.
At one point, the team wasn't even sure they would be able to enter the scene.
We got to figure out how to make the money to buy this team now, because in the next 6 months, a year, this team's going to be worth like $4 or $5 million.
Once they did, their hands-off approach at times led the team to disarray.
The team is just constantly slapping different band-aids on the problem and hoping it works.
But throughout all the roster changes and a heartbreaking defeat in one of the closest major grand finals ever played, the team finally secured what they were fighting for all along.
He's not done! He gets his 30! And FaZe 2 frags away! One more!
Although Counter-Strike Global Offensive was also a first-person shooter, it was a far cry from the ground-sliding, quick-knifing, and sometimes jetpack-employing Call of Duty that FaZe was known for. CSGO had grown steadily since its 2012 release, and the in-person events were becoming bigger and more elaborate. Plus, the release of weapon skins and the arms deal update made CS even more popular among casual audiences. FaZe Clan saw potential in the growing CS scene and knew they needed to act fast if they wanted in, as FaZe Clan founder Banks stated in the Bad News podcast in 2020.
So my brain, we got to finesse it. We got to figure out how to make the money to buy this team now, because in the next 6 months, a year, this team's going to be worth like $4 or $5 million. And we're not going to be able to get into this game, which in our heads, we need to get in this game.
FaZe decided buying G2 Esports' roster was their best option to enter CSGO, but the price tag was daunting.
So we came up with this idea with these kids. I came up with this idea for a different way to do it, and we branded it the right way. And my motivation for doing it actually was, at the time we weren't making enough money to buy a CSGO team. All in, the venture was going to cost us like $1 million, and we definitely did not have anything close to that.
The idea mentioned in that clip was CSGO skin gambling, something that was everywhere in 2015 and 2016. In that same podcast, Banks said that they went to Antigua to get their gambling license, and once the site was online, he said it was raking in $200,000 a day. That is, until Valve saw the legal peril of allowing its game skins to be used as gambling chips and issued cease and desist orders to the biggest sites, including CSGO Wild, the site FaZe was involved with.
Yeah, we were out there and ran this website for a few months, and then the whatever, it was all regulated and shut down. And we were the only ones who were doing it legitimate, so we shut our shit down, and there's still people who are doing it, making crazy money.
While Banks seemed to take some credit for the site's creation in 2020, he had previously denied owning it in 2016, characterizing the relationship as FaZe agreeing to promote the site in exchange for money. The site's apparent owner, Gagey, backed up this characterization in a 2016 twitlonger once concerns first arose, and the incorporation documents apparently did not list Banks as an owner, but promote the site FaZe did, including very suspicious video from FaZe Adapt that saw money mysteriously added to their CSGO Wild account.
Dude, I don't even know what the just happened.
I lost, but
He lost, but he got money.
Whether Banks or anyone else at FaZe owned part of the site, the money they earned was a part of how they scraped together the $700,000 they needed for their first ever CSGO roster. But almost immediately after signing to FaZe Clan, the roster's performance declined.
Not sure if JW heard him there. I think he did. And Fox misses the key shot. Olofmeister is going to do it, eliminating FaZe.
Something clearly had to change, and they earmarked the perfect candidate for that. Finn Karrigan Anderson, who had been cast out of Astralis.
FaZe came with an incredible good offer, saying you can build your own team here. There's only one player we want to be in the lab in the future, and that is Rain. So we want to build this team around you and Rain.
The Danish-German IGL was a great fit for FaZe. He was a talented strategist and caller and had a history of getting the best from his players.
A lot of IGLs out there can read what is probably the best overall strategy moment to moment, but what I think Karrigan does is he has emotional capacity. He can actually tell when his teammates are in a mood where they're going to be aggressive on their own or they're going to be more passive on their own. So he knows what sort of initiatives need to be taken, and he knows how to make it easy for his teammates to execute all of that.
And alongside Kiyoshima, Alu, AZ, and Rain, the team's results improved nearly instantaneously.
1-on-2, they're trying to make it onto the site, and that is it. Ladies and gentlemen, FaZe are going to be moving on into the semifinals, knocking out Virtus Pro.
But after a poor performance at the Atlanta Major, FaZe knew that they had to change things up. AZ was shipped off to North, and into his place stepped Nico, considered by many to be one of the game's greatest ever riflers.
Yeah, I think we always at some point knew we were gonna get Nico. Like, that was the whole goal of this team, that becoming that good that Nico would actually change the lineup. Because we needed then one big superstar that could bring us home some trophies. We can build around many players, but we always need one you can rely on.
Like karrigan, Nico was still seeking his first major win. But beyond that, the two players were very different. karrigan, the cunning in-game leader with a read for every situation, while Nico, 7 years his junior, was known for taking apart the enemy with precision rifle work that made it look easy.
They gotta have a kid, so he's got a lot of time to work with here. Nico on the outside, he gets the one kill, comes back with the noise sprays, he wins one more, they're still defusing. Nico, he's gonna go for it, he's gonna dribble, he gets the quad kill! Oh my god, Nico!
Again, there was the immediate impact of a roster change, one which frankly gave FaZe more firepower than they'd ever had.
He can do this now for his side to secure his team into the finals. karrigan chasing down Lucas, and he does it! karrigan with FaZe!
Knows one's in the corner, hits it! Incredible, but no way, it's done! They take down device, Zippix is found, and FaZe Clan with all the tools.
Nico finds Dupree, and step by step, they are on the verge of getting to the finals here. The FaZe landed this one kill from Nico, and there it is. It's FaZe!
But despite 3 months of strong results and the roster earning the #2 spot on HLTV's global rankings, FaZe shocked fans with a disastrous showing at the Krakow Major.
And it's a long way home for the FaZe team. That has to be highest expectation and worst outcome that I've seen in recent memory at a major.
It was yet another example of the inconsistency that had plagued FaZe since they entered CSGO. And as pro player Valda would characterize it years later on the HLTV Confirmed podcast, it wasn't because the players weren't talented.
When you play the style that FaZe does, I think you need a lot of confidence because you get a lot of duels, it's a lot of dry peaks, a lot of contact plays, like simple fakes. So if you're not hitting your absolute best individual level, I think you're gonna have a rough time.
But adding more firepower had worked before, at least for a little while. So in the weeks after the major, FaZe Clan broke out the checkbook and signed 2 of the biggest names in Counter-Strike.
You look at this roster and you have 3 of the 5 players were in the conversation for the best player in the world at some point. Olofmeister definitely being the best player in the world in 2015. Guardian, when he was in his peak form, also in conversation. And Nico has always been around, especially since he joined FaZe and had some actually good results with the team played on the big stage.
What FaZe now had was almost immediately labeled a super team. But the roster came together with little practice time before DreamHack Masters Malmo, and that had consequences.
I think FaZe seriously dropped the ball on that last map. They had multiple opportunities to close that game out, to have an even bigger lead and even bigger advantage, and they just failed miserably.
I know they've only been together for a very short period of time. They haven't had a lot of time to practice. I want to make a nice broad statement here. I don't think this FaZe is going to be anywhere near as successful as the previous iteration with Keo and Alu.
But instead of raiding the hotel room minibar and taking in the sights in Sweden, the team hit the practice room and drilled down on how exactly they would play together.
So before the tournament started, we didn't have that much practice, and I think one of the mistakes I did as in-game leader was believing that the new lineup would fit into the map pool we had. We ended up playing 5 different maps, and 2 of them was Nuke, and we lost both of them, which was the reason why we went out. So we went back and looked at the mistakes and quickly realized that Nuke doesn't fit us right now, so we cut that from the map pool.
And once the team figured things out, fans were treated to some truly incredible moments.
All in one position, and Guardian makes it just Nitro to find the flash!
And Nico fittingly gets the last kill as FaZe dominate New York in 2017 in the Barclays Center all the way through this tournament.
FaZe are going to pounce. They know that they can push onto this site, that there were 2 players there for Astralis. The flash is in, it's good. Olafmeister takes down Dupree. Now they know where the remaining players are coming from, and it is inevitable. It is over. Zipnik's down to 5 HP, and it's not going to be enough. 16-7 win. FaZe have done it. They are your E-League champions.
4 versus 2, doing more damage, leaving Oscar with a UMP. He's got to pick up a rifle, surely, going past the connector area. This is the end of the line for Mouse Sports. FaZe, after a massive best of 3, shut down the dreams, desires of Mouse Sports and take the championship.
It was a golden age for the team, one that had fans convinced that a major win was within their reach. But when it came to the Boston Major, despite making it to the grand finals, they couldn't make it happen.
Guardian waits patiently as Cloud9 sets the push up. Oh, it's happened! They made it work! Cloud9 are your E-League Major champions!
It's not like FaZe fell off a cliff in 2018, it was more of a gentle slope. With Olaf in and out of the roster, Inconsistency reigned in the back half of the year.
JW finally silenced, but it's just Guardian and Olaf, and Olaf gets paid back by his old team! Fnatic has done it!
Rumors even surfaced that karrigan wasn't calling in-game and that Nico had taken over the responsibility.
It's sounding like Nico might be leading that at the moment. Is that true, firstly?
No, it's still like, I don't know, we're trying something new.
So you don't want to tell me too much about that?
No comment.
That's absolutely fine. I won't delve into more details, but we just heard the communication was slightly different. And so in that sense, it is true.
No comment.
Okay, no comment at all.
Until finally, it wasn't karrigan's team to build anymore.
This did seem inevitable from like the point where they decided that like, oh, Nico is just gonna IGL now sometimes, maybe, who can tell, no one knows. I feel like when you reach that point within a team, then it's obvious that your IGL's days are numbered.
By the end of 2019, the roster was frankly in the worst position ever in the team's history, sitting at 21st ranked globally, with a revolving door of players trying to find a combination that would work.
Surely it's impossible. A Mac 10 for Neo versus 3. Can he get around the corner? He can't do it. Renegades take it, they survive, and they eliminate FaZe Clan from the major.
And not only work, but work consistently. Because again, FaZe did have some triumphs that year. But what little consistency the roster could find on LAN was about to be tossed away, along with the LANs as a whole. While they got off to a decent start during the online era, the FaZe roster of this period began to slip against the game's best.
And RPK and Sharks left on the other side. A little bit of a Molotov. They're going to come flying right through into RPK, and he'll take them down in 16-14 as Vitality bring down FaZe.
And for a superstar in their prime, that wasn't good enough. So Nico left the organization in October, joining G2 Esports. FaZe's roster was overhauled, adding firepower by swapping out Kjerby for Twists, but it didn't solve the leadership problem that had seemingly plagued them for a while.
He has a kit and he has a smoke, and Olaf has to leave. Now he's gonna make a bunch of noise. He's gonna get that kill. He's gonna put the smoke on top of Bomb, and no, not like this. You are kidding me. Na'Vi finish like this.
And so they turned to a familiar face.
I know the FaZe guys behind me with organization I've been trusting for a lot of time. I know they trusted me to come back to steer the ship in the right direction, and that's what I'm doing.
But while some fans might have been happy to see him back, the so-called karrigan effect didn't hit immediately.
Dexter wants to take the peak, and as the swing comes in, Twist is good for one, they can't get more, it's Mousesports to take it away, and it'll be FaZe Clan eliminated, last place from the DreamHack Masters Spring.
With coldzera benched and Olafmeister set to step back in, the boys on the HLTV Confirmed podcast had plenty to say about FaZe's struggles.
Are we expecting anything different from FaZe? They've gone, here you go, boys. We'll give you a shitload of money. We'll take that $2 million in sticker money that comes through every now and again that it gets put in the game. We'll probably use that to recycle, and you guys can be self-sufficient. Do whatever the you want. Look at like Neo with Dren, like Cold there, BMAS for a little while, Kjerby for a little while. The Twisters only just rejoined. Robin's come back as a coach. Like, The team is just constantly slapping different band-aids on the problem and hoping it works.
The roster fell to their worst ever ranking in FaZe's history, 39th.
karrigan just charging through the smoke. They know it's over, and so do we. Finishing it with style, looking for the no-scope. It's finished off, and that's 16. Na'Vi.
Once more under karrigan's leadership, FaZe started their climb, but after a disappointing 11th place finish at the Stockholm Major, it was time for another roster change.
No doubt natural dejection on that side. karrigan has not moved. He is not unpacking his gear. He is just looking with disbelief.
In January 2021, Olaf Meister stepped aside for Ropz, the rising star who had even applied to FaZe Clan as a young man in 2014.
Okay, hello my dudes, I am Ropz, and this is my FaZe Clan recruitment challenge response powered by G-Fuel.
And everything changed.
Axel up through the window. Ropz has heard something. Ropz knows. Oh, there's the closer! Ropz, what a way to lock in Dust 2!
There since the beginning was Rain.
Can't collect their low HP. Rain is on the case, and he will do what his teammate could not. All three for Rain. Starts off with the damage from Twist, and it's FaZe on 6.
Broky had continued to improve, becoming a dangerous AWPer in his own right.
But look, the utility usage, and Broky still takes one.
Oh, he's got more.
He takes 2. They tried to get past him, but instead they get blasted. And Rain's down here to support, so you know it.
Okay.
Ropz and Twists brought the heat with the rifle.
Ropz is in a huge amount of trouble. He's gonna try and take matters into his own hands. Couldn't find the second shot fast enough, but Jax, he drops in. Oh, talk about an Estonian. Oh, talk about a superstar. Talk about the elite. Ropz is on a rope.
And if fans were worried about consistency, then the team's victory at Katowice with JKS as a stand-in showed that there was a system. It was karrigan's system, and it was working.
Broky's still here. Oh, they lined up. He's actually hit 1+2. He did damage. That's gonna drop them down. It's all on Hunter, and it's all over. Twist with the final kill. And FaZe finally on the stage in Katowice will take a championship. And you can see what it means to karrigan.
FaZe went from their own absolute rock bottom to the #1 ranked team in less than a year.
Blinded a little bit, but surely he's going to come back for it. All of FaZe ready to fight. There's the flashbang. Broky's got one more, and there's Rain. FaZe have done it.
And with the PGL Major just around the corner, the timing couldn't have been better.
Now that they get those 2 steps closer, do they just want to take this? They're going to press hard into the pit. It twists.
Oh my god.
With a quick flick of his wand, they're all gone. This tag's already crossed, but it's 2 scoped in. Broky
okay.
For a second. And this guy simply does not miss.
And Rain, he's not done. He gets his 30. And FaZe 2 frags away. One more.
FaZe Clan's win at Antwerp was a historic moment for Counter-Strike.
All I wanted in my life wanted to make history, that an international team won a major, and we did it in here!
But if FaZe dropped off after winning CSGO's biggest prize, they wouldn't be the first team to do so. And any longtime fan could tell you that consistency had always been an issue. With a win at IEM Cologne, FaZe could solidify their legacy. And by defeating their grand final opponents Na'Vi, the would-be conquerors of this era, karrigan and his crew would undoubtedly start their own. The pressure was on.
No, turns around, Perfecto, gone, they're all there! Broky shatters Na'Vi in 1 magazine! Concerns, the sound is there, the spray is too, he's got a second AK, and he hits Pin off the bomb! They have to run him down, Simple's posted Twist, you've got no hope! No way! But Perfecto, a good bullet, 9 HP, the first is provided, there's no way. There's no smoke. Broky just has to click, and we're going to overtime!
As much as FaZe fought tooth and nail to claw their way back into the series, Na'Vi found a way to slam the door shut.
He's baited him in. They can't find him. Twist distracted. If he could just do it again. He's on it, and he's tapping it. Ropz, nervous, in the big stage, as Bits closes it out!
But against their own history and the odds stacked against them, FaZe found the confidence to kick the door down.
Simple solo! A Glock will do! Broky, can he come up clutch against Perfecto? Looking for info, and he's found him! That's a banger from Broky! Do you consider that? He sees him, and he slaps him down! Back of the skull! No, that's looking! Breaks Na'Vi's backs! In the dying stages of regulation as they're gone 15. Surely he can't hold his nerve in another impossible clutch. 3 members of FaZe, they won't let this go. They will not go quietly. All of the rounds, all of the maps, and FaZe Clan complete the triple.
After winning one of the greatest grand finals the game had ever seen, FaZe Clan secured their place as the true kings of Counter-Strike.
Your champions of IEM Cologne, it's FaZe Clan!
The team achieved the impossible, all while trusting their players as professionals to find their own path to glory. That player-led approach may have been pure Call of Duty, but the result changed Counter-Strike forever.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, then hit the sub button and ring the notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit up our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.